All right, you guys, welcome back to the channel. We're back here in Alberta. We're here in Edmonton, Alberta, a long way from Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. You may recognize this car, or maybe you don't. Maybe it's just an ordinary, boring old resurgence of the Dodge Charger when Dodge mistakenly brought back the Charger name. But you'd be wrong, because of course this is one of the vehicles, one of the Chargers, that the guys yanked the vault out of the bank in Fast 5. Oh man, it's so hard to believe that Fast 5 was released 10 years ago. But here it is. I mean, this is a working winch on the back of this Charger. We have yet to try it out. Maybe we'll do that later in the video. But we're gonna go for a drive and see how it stacks up to, well, I'm not sure. I've never driven a Charger of any kind, new or old. So let's get inside, let's go for a drive and reminisce on one of the last decent Fast and Furious movies. Let's go. Welcome to Fast 5, the beginning of the downfall of the enthusiast spark within the Fast and the Furious franchise, as I just called it apparently. Here we are in a Dodge Charger Hemi, 5.7 Hemi. I don't believe it's an SRT8, but we're gonna have some fun. Let's hit it. That was a piece of plastic, it's all good. All right, so, Fast 5. This is one of the builds that I saw since we were at Jorge's last, back in November, when we shot all the original series we shot on his Fast and Furious collection. This is one of the cars, when I saw this being built on Instagram, by, I believe it's called NA Fabrications here in Edmonton. They did all of the cage work on the back there. They installed a fully functional winch, which we'll get to. When I saw this for the first time, I thought this was the coolest thing, okay? Because that chase scene, that vault chase scene, the heist scene, I mean, Fast 5 was a heist movie, let's be honest. Assemble the team. 3 words that are so applicable to so many aspects of the Fast and the Furious life, the YouTube life, and the business world in general. But here we are. I mean, this is the last car, one of the last cars I would have expected Jorge to build, but he's gone ahead and done just that, okay? He started with a black Charger, and of course these were built in Fast 5 by the team to steal that vault specifically from the bank in Rio. So there was a lot of CGI in that movie, a lot of CGI, I want to think, in this scene. But then again, there wasn't. There was a lot of practical stuff going on there. They legitimately destroyed a lot of real estate, a lot of physical things, a lot of barriers, a lot of glass to shoot that scene on the streets there. But here we are, 5.7 liter Hemi under the hood. We are back here in Edmonton, Alberta, at what now definitely is, 100% is, the largest Fast and Furious collection in the world. Yes, most of them are replicas. A lot of them actually, like the Integra GSR Turbo that I just got out of Ja Rule's car from the first race in the first movie, that is, as far as we know, the only replica of that car in the world. And then there's like whatever's left of the stunt car or the hero cars from the movie itself. But as far as replicas go, we have seen in the past few years, and I credit Jorge and Dom and Craig Lieberman and anybody that was involved in the movie franchise for kind of promoting it as well and being a part of it. I promote Jorge and Dom specifically, and a couple of guys overseas that I'm not as familiar with, for providing this resurgence of love for the Fast and the Furious franchise and for making it okay for people who love the franchise, like myself, to drive these cars and bring them to car meets unironically. This, if you brought this to a car meet, this is a showstopper. This is a showstopper right here. It's not one of the originals. It's one that you would never expect, yet it's one of the... it's just such a cool idea. But when Vin Diesel, like, this car gets yanked out into the air, and then Vin Diesel, like, jumps out of the window, or out of the door, and, like, rolls out, I mean, it's just hilarious. It's so funny. This car had more screen time, way more screen time than, I don't know, Brian's Eclipse, Green Eclipse, Mia's Integra, Dom's Charger in the first movie. I think it had more screen time than that car in that movie. So if you think about screen time and prominence and what cars from the franchise stood the test of time, it really doesn't have to do with screen time. It really just has to do with your connection to the characters, right?
He got really excited, and he's the one who started sending me ads from chargers for sale. I'm like, what? Why are you sending me these chargers? He's like, Fast 5 Charger, Fast 5 Charger. I'm like, no, that's a terrible car. He's like, come on, we'll do it for you. So we found it's not an SRT, but it's an RT car, and he was black already, so it was perfect. So we just repainted flat black, and he did the rest. We did the nitros, we did the e-brake, everything. Everything is done as movie specs. Everything is functional. The only thing is not functional is NOS, because the insurance won't cover if the NOS is hooked up for my collector insurance. So it's just the bottle and the hoses it's not functional, but yeah, the winch, it is. We tried to pull a truck and it moved, so it's good. Yeah, the winch, everything works in that car. Even the e-brake for drifting, yeah.
So if you look around, fully stripped interior. Let's just take a second to see where I'm driving right now. We've got 3 huge nitrous bottles here. This entire cage, though, you guys are probably thinking, oh my, Marcus, this is very dangerous driving a fully caged vehicle on the street without a helmet. I know, it's not a great idea at all. Kids, do not try this at home. Oh, it's got torque though. I mean, she's fast. Guys, this is when the Charger went to shit. I remember when Dodge brought back the Charger name, and it's not good. It is what it is. I can see why a lot of police departments use this car, because it does have the torque. It's got so much room. It's a boat, high speed. It's very stable, very smooth. And of course, in Fast 5, they steal these and they hop the fence and they jack these from the police department. Again, one of those scenes. Let me explain to you something, you guys. This is why a lot of people don't like Fast 5 and beyond, and why a lot of us view the franchise as kind of going downhill. I feel like that movie could have been 3 hours long. They could have shown the race scene with the GT3 RS. They could have had a lot more street racing in that movie. They could have shown how they got the cop cars out of the station and maybe provide a little bit more comedic dialogue in that moment. But instead, what we got was them hopping the fence and then boom, just cut to the street and it's calm again and it's fine. And they're about to do a drag race. And then of course we find out Brian's about to have a kid after that because of the race. But I don't know, a lot of the acting in that movie too, in that scene, was just super cheesy and awkward. The movies aren't perfect, but for me, I don't know about you guys, for me Fast 5 is still thoroughly enjoyable. It is what I would consider the last in the Fast series that is totally enjoyable for me to go back and watch. I think the first 5 movies are really what the franchise is about, because 4 and 5 are connected. So yes, it is a replica car, but the things in this car, like, this is a real cage. This is a chassis welded cage. This is no joke.
When Anthony was building that car, he was texting me like probably every hour. He's like, "Are you sure you want to get rid of the seats? Are you sure you want to get rid of the interior? Are you sure?" I'm like, "Man, we did it on the STI, and it's way expensiver than this Charger. So yeah, go for it." So he was sending me pictures, and I was like, "Oh my God, like that car is gonna be a replica, and it has to stay as a replica because nobody will buy it like it is, right?" So it's tough. It's tough to convert a car into something like that, but we do it for a purpose, right? It's the Fast and Furious, so I don't care. The roll cage was welded to the chassis, so we just mount the winch into the roll cage, and it's firm as a rock. We did the roll cage first, and when everything was set up, we remove it again, and he sent it to paint, and then they give us the car back, and then we reassemble it. Yeah. The worst part was the e-brake, but yeah, it's functional now.
It saddens me a little bit that there is no aftermarket exhaust on this car. I mean, in the movie, we wanted to be narrative correct, as it were. Maybe it would be quiet. Maybe it would be quiet because, of course, they don't want to attract attention on their way to the heist. I mean, of course, once they have the vault, all is well, all is good. Let the taps open, let the taps loose. I mean, the suspension of disbelief required now after driving one of these Chargers in order to believe the precision driving that Dom and Brian were doing in that scene in the lore of the Fast and the Furious is so beyond anything. I mean, the steering is so incredibly sloppy. The suspension, stock factory suspension here, is so all over the road and boaty. These cars would have had to have new steering racks and everything to be able to do what they did. I mean, you can drift a Charger. I know you can drift a Charger, but this is just me kind of chuckling at what narrative movies are all about, which is the suspension of disbelief. This has been the Fast 5 Heist Charger, okay? No, not one of the most prominent vehicles from the franchise, but I think it's absolutely one of the most unique in Jorge's collection, and one of those that you would never expect to see as a replica. I'd imagine this is also the very first replica of this car in the world. Huge shout out to NA Fabrications for building this car for Jorge. Thanks, Jorge, for letting me drive it. Hit up the rest of these videos in the series while we're here in Edmonton shooting. Go watch Fast 9. And subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos that are coming up. And, you know, maybe if you'd like, hit me up on Instagram at Roads Untraveled, and we can share some photos and videos up there as well. So with that being said, we'll see you guys soon.